Bryce Hamilton from UNLV, and requested waivers on guard LJ Figueroa. Figueroa didn't last very long on this team. They just, signed him a couple days ago, and they must have not really been very high on him. More high on Bryce Hamilton. So we'll see what Bryce Hamilton can do. Now, Bryce Hamilton is a 21-year-old 6'4" guard from, again, UNLV. As somebody that lives in Vegas, I am relatively familiar with him. And I just don't think he's a guy that's going to make the roster. I just think, again, it's just a guy kind of try out, work out, and see what he could become. He had his moments with UNLV, but he wasn't really that much of a standout. He was more hyped going into UNLV than he was actually at UNLV. Clear reason as to why he went undrafted. I mean, if you watched him play, he was good, not great. I don't think he's a guy that has the size and the skill set to be an actual rotation guy for the Lakers. But he's young, 21 years old. He could have some potential. He could get better. 6'4", right? And all these signings are the Lakers just trying to figure out and navigate players that could, kind of be put into their farm system to maybe one day make the roster or have a team or be a part of the team and just rotation in general. Now, I do think Hamilton has some intangibles that could one day make him like a solid rotation guy. He has his moments. He's had his games where he just, he shot the ball very well, played some solid defense, stuff like that. But he's not a real standout in my opinion. Maybe some people feel otherwise, but having seen him play on several occasions, it's one of those things like, he just doesn't look, even in college, he never looked like one of the better guys on the floor. He looked like, he was just another guy on the floor. And look, that doesn't always translate to being a terrible player in the NBA. And that's why I think he does have promise. The Lakers have obviously worked him out and tried and seen what can he do, what can he offer, what could he provide this team if he was to make it. And they must have liked what they've seen. Although they did just sign and waive LJ rather quickly. And LJ was the one that had the more size. If I'm not mistaken, we didn't even get to see him play. But it's just, they're trying to find and make, the trial and error of like, okay, well, what about this guy? How does this guy look? How does that guy look? And just trying to put guys together for affiliates, for depth. You bring them up one day on like an Exhibit 10 contract, something like that, when you need a guy. That's what this is about. And that's what a preseason is in general, right? These guys are all auditioning, not just for the Lakers, but for multiple teams, and just trying to earn a spot, earn a roster spot, whether it's with the team that brought him or another team. And I think that he's a guy that could, maybe display some of the intangibles and stuff. He has promise. He's not great at one thing. And that's why he didn't get drafted. He's not a guy he's not a great elite shooter. He's not a great elite defender. He's not a great elite ball handler or passer or things like that. He's a good player. But usually the guys that get drafted, they're great at one thing. They're great defensively, but they need to work on their offense. So they're great offensively and need to work on their defense. Or they're just, a star straight in the league, But these guys that go undrafted, there is the potential. You can find those gems, like Austin Reeves. Like Austin Reeves is a guy that has really earned rotation time and has been very solid. The Lakers are really good at eyeballing and finding talent. So they must think that Hamilton has something in him or some promise to where they at least are giving him a look. And I've said this time and time again, like, look, the Lakers, their scouting department is fantastic. It is, they haven't been wrong yet when it comes to guys. And so why would we question or think otherwise? I'm personally not high on Bryce Hamilton. Like, I don't think he's a signing that's going to make the roster. I'm not saying he can't be a good player. I'm not saying he can't be a guy that could be a rotation guy one day. He has some good skill sets, but this isn't a signing of like, oh, here's a guy that's competing for the 15th roster spot. That's not what this is. This is a guy that's competing to make, the G League affiliate, stuff like that. And then the Lakers kind of bring him in their farm system. And then maybe one day can work his way up, like an Alex Cruz or something like that. Just grind away, work your way up, get into the NBA and get a real contract. Like, that's what he's doing. 21 years old, young, raw, 6'4", he has a lot of room, a lot of potential, a lot of growth potential. And I think he's somebody that can one day be, a guy on this team. It's just, I don't see him making it, but who knows? I mean, look, the guy's had quite some time now to work out and work on the things that he needs to work on. I'm sure teams, why he's trying out for teams, stuff like that, teams told him what he needs to be better at, what he needs to work on. I imagine that he was in the lab working on those things. So maybe, I mean, some of these players, some of these kids, stuff like that, it doesn't take much time for them to kind of get good at something, especially with the right training staff, the right, workout regime, the right, dedication. A lot of these guys, they can turn things around. We've seen guys in a year, in 6 months, just completely change their shot or completely change their game. I mean, look at Russ. I've talked about it. I mean, in a week, Darvin Ham's been able to get Russ to do stuff he's never done in his career. I mean, it just depends on how hard do you want it, how much are you willing to work for it, how dedicated are you to this. And a guy like, Bryce Hamilton, he's looking at it as like, I need to make a roster, I need to make a team. Like, this is my dream, this is my goal. So hopefully he's putting in the work, putting in the effort. But, again, he was good, not great for UNLV. He had some moments, he had some really standout moments that were great. I do think the potential is there. I do think he's a guy that like, if the Lakers brought on to an affiliate, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I could see him making the rotation spot one day, but he's still very raw, has a lot he needs to work on. Again, he's not great at any, like, one specific thing. He's just good at several things, and he's definitely, look, he wasn't even, you can make an argument that there were guys on UNLV that were better than him. He was more hyped going into UNLV than he was when he actually played for UNLV, and people were like, okay, he's really not that good. Like, it was more disappointment than anything, but nonetheless, that deserves at least a shot, an opportunity. The Lakers must like him and must feel that he's worth at least giving an audition to. Again, Lakers scouting department has been so great. Like, who are we to question that at this point? They have, just gotten the gem after gem after gem. And if they don't like what they see from him, he'll be gone quick. But maybe he has the potential to actually earn a spot, on the G League team and just work and build and grow and maybe fight his way into the rotation. Like, just to put it in perspective so people understand, that maybe didn't see him play in UNLV. Like, he's a guy that averaged 14 points a game, maybe just under 15, but basically around 14 points a game, and shot like 31% from three in college, as well as, I think he shot like 37% from the field. Like, so he's a shooting guard that can't really shoot or can't really, score very well, which is why he didn't get drafted. Usually you see like the shooting guards, like they're like, 50% in college, and then they come to the pros and they kind of, average out. But this is a guy that, it's a lot like I said with Bacon, right? I said Bacon, he's a solid guy, got some size, stuff like that, but he's a shooting guard that can't shoot. And that's kind of what Hamilton is. He's kind of a shooting guard that can't really shoot, but you can always improve, you can always get better. Can he do all the other little intangible things to earn a spot on this roster is the big question. But either way, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think of this move? Do you like it? Do you not? Do you think Bryce Hamilton has a real chance, a real opportunity? Do you like him? Do you like his game? I'm sure that there are some people out there that think he's really good. I think, I'm sure a lot of UNLV fans might think he's really good and stuff like that. But I just watched a lot of games of him, and he was never really a big standout in a lot of those games. And I just think that he's like I said, he's good at multiple things, but he's not really great at anything. But the growth and potential is there. He's 21 years old. He's a kid. He has a long time to work to try to get into the NBA. I mean, we've seen guys come into the NBA after spending, 3-4 years into the G League and come in and actually make an impact, earn rotation spots, stuff like that. And he could end up being that guy. But anyway, I'm curious to see what they do with him. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between. Let me know down in the comment section below. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.